Morning, Torp.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Berger. A couple of bills. And a postcard from your mother.
If ever they make me postmaster, you'll be sacked, Torp. I promise you.
Anything interesting? More bills.
It'll be easy when I take over from John.
I hope so. Ralph, hurry, you'll be late to school.
Coming.
John and Esther are coming for supper.
Oh.
Ralph! Oh, look at you. What do people think if they see you in the street like that? I told Esther 6:30.
Oh, it's Friday, you know. I have to make up the cash tonight.
Oh, dear, I forgot. Oh, well, don't be later than you can help.
All right.
That's better. Off you go.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, Rolf. Have I forgotten something?
Yes, the pig.
Huh?
Oh, Ralph, your shoes on the chair. One for
And one for dressing at night. I'm rich. I'm rich.
And you're late. Come on, young man. There we go.
Here's a satchel.
Bye.
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 Oh, good morning, Torp. Good morning, Mr. Kester. A letter for you. Thank you. From Stockholm. From head office.
Oh, so it is. Ah, there's a coincidence.
From Stockholm?
The official confirmation of my appointment, Esther.
When do you take over, John?
In 2 weeks. Brooms retires at the end of the month.
Peter.
Come on, young fella. Hey, if you eat any more, you'll be sleeping in class all day. Come on. Come on.
John.
Hello, Mrs. Holmes.
Good morning, Rolf. Good morning. Here you
Morning,
are.
Ralph.
Oh,
Morning, Eric.
thank you.
Morning, John.
Hello, Uncle John. Are you coming to our house tonight, Uncle John?
That's right.
Hooray! Promise you'll come.
I promise.
Come on, you'll be late. Hero worship.
I'm the wrong shape for a hero. Morning.
Right shape for a proto.
Good morning,
Morning, Mr. Berger.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Kester.
Morning, Gooder. Morning.
Morning.
Hey, Mr. Kester. A moment, if you please.
Certainly.
Good morning, Mr. Bones.
Well, I suppose Mr. Berger must become chief clerk in your place.
Well, naturally. Senior man, very good record. Thank you. Not open yet. A new boy. Nils, whatever your name is. Hop around and open the doors, the lad. Can't keep the customers waiting, you know.
No, sir.
And don't forget to have the pensions money collected.
Of course. Boy, Niels, I want you to go down to the harbor and a package from a mail steamer. Be very careful. It contains a large amount of money. 10,000 kroner.
10,000 kroner.
Well, go on.
It's 10,000 kroner.
What's the matter with you? Frightened of a little bit of responsibility? That's not the stuff of a post office servant, you know. Hey, Carlson?
Oh, no, sir.
Go on.
So where are you off to?
For the pensions money, sir.
Oh, really? I'm going that way. May I walk with you?
Yes, must be 15 years since I last went to collect the pensions money.
Mr. Berger?
Oh, yes, about your age, doing the same job, junior messenger. Every Friday, used to go down to the harbor, just like this.
For the pensions money?
That's right. But I was a little bit scared at first, a lot of money. Then I began to enjoy it. Sometimes the steamer was late, and it was a good excuse to get away from the office for an hour.
Hello, I'm bumping into everyone today. I just left Esther.
Oh, I'd like you to meet Niels Lindwall. He's a new, colleague of mine at the post office. Niels, this is my wife.
How do you do, Mr. Lindwall?
How do you do, Mrs. Berger? I'm very pleased.
I must go, I'm afraid. I didn't realize it was so late. Oh, will you come and see us at home, Mr. Lindwall?
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, you don't need me anymore, do you?
No.
That's good.
Oh, Mr. Berger.
Yes?
When does Mr. Brom's leave?
End of the month. Why?
Any chance of you being the new postmaster?
Well, I might have been, but Mr. Kester's a good bit senior to me. It's time you were moving, you know.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Niels, it's my job to count that money tonight, and if there happens to be a couple of 1,000 kroner missing, I'll know who's got it. Hmm?
You locked the safe.
I have, Mr. Kester.
Well, this is to go in yet.
Oh.
Berger hasn't finished the pensions money.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Eric, how much longer are you going to take?
A couple of minutes.
Oh, we're late. Oh, hurry up. I'm starving.
Don't look it.
I want that. Put it in the box. Quick! Stay away from the window. You want to die like the others? Do you want to die?
Mr. Rogers?
Yes? How is my brother?
Still unconscious, I'm afraid. You'd better in the morning.
But...
Mr. Svensson?
Mrs. Kester?
How is my husband?
We're doing everything we can. That's all I can say at the moment.
Oh.
As soon as I have some news, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
You'll be glad to know that Mr. Anderson has regained consciousness.
Is he all right?
Well enough to have made a statement. I'd like you to come to the post office, Mr. Berger. It'll be easier to take your statement there.
Oh, yes, Inspector. Of course.
Mr. Anderson tells me he was at this safe when the incident began. Can you confirm this?
No, I was in the postmaster's room.
As soon as the disturbance began, Mr. Anderson rushed in there and found Mr. Kester struggling with one of the robbers. Where are the lights? Before he could, he was struck down and Kester was shot. You can't confirm this, of course. Mr. Berger, you can't confirm this.
No, I was in the postmaster's room. I told you.
You heard nothing?
Not at first. The door was shut.
There must have been a good deal of noise.
Ah, yes, but you see, I was concentrating, counting the pension money. And the first thing I heard was some sort of noise, and then Anderson shouting, and then a crash. It must have been the cash box. And then a shot.
What did Anderson shout?
I don't know. I didn't hear clearly.
Mr. Berger, he dared them to shoot. When did you discover what was going on?
Oh, I opened the door.
And find?
One of the men by the table over there, Kester and Anderson on the floor, and then I was about to move forward when the other man came round with a gun. He forced me back into the office. Forced me around the desk. He had the cash box was there, the money was beside it. He made me put it in, and then he stood there with the gun.
You handed it over?
He took it, and collected the other man, and then... Well, they left.
And what did you do?
I waited a moment, and then I ran down to help John, who was gone.
And then what happened? Mr. Berger, what happened then?
I can't remember.
Must have been quite a shock for you. So you weren't really in it, were you? You were the only one who wasn't injured. The other two put up a fight.
Wish to God they hadn't. Didn't help them, did it? Didn't save the money. If I'd been shot, it still wouldn't have saved the money. Stupid to risk your life for a few thousand kroner. Especially when you have a wife and child.
You thought of that at the time.
No. Must have been at the back of my mind.
That was before you gave way to panic.
What panic?
Didn't you? Didn't you rush out into the street shouting for a telephone?
It was the motorcycle. That's it, the motorcycle. I thought it was theirs. I'd some idea it could be stopped, but it was gone. Anyway, I wanted help.
You pressed the alarm bell.
I must...
Where is it?
Here.
Oh. And you rushed out into the street looking for a telephone. Now, about the motorcycle, what made you think it was the thieves?
It started up in the backyard. I tried the door that leads out there, but they'd locked it, and that must have been when I came through here for help. I thought there were two men dying in there.
I know, Lee. I know. You went out and stopped them, didn't you?
It was very difficult, you see, Rolf, because they had guns.
No, could Uncle John then?
No, he couldn't either.
Is Uncle John coming to our house tonight?
Not tonight.
But he promised.
I know he did, but it's not easy to keep a promise, even when you want to very much sometimes.
Did the burglar shoot him?
Yes, they did.
Is he dead?
No, but he's very ill. And we don't know how long it's going to be before he gets better. Come on, get to bed. Put your feet in. That's right.
You're all right. You're not going to die.
I'm all right. You glad?
Yes.
Come on. Off to sleep. Straight away. Don't want to worry Mummy, do we?
No.
Yes. Good night.
No. They don't think he'll last till morning. Gave Esther a bed at the hospital for the night. It all happened so quickly. Esther was here. We expected you back any moment. And quite suddenly they came and said John had been shot at once. Oh, Eric, it was awful. I couldn't help her. There was nothing I could say. Thank God it wasn't you. Have you eaten anything?
I didn't feel like it.
Oh, I think you should.
I've been thinking, I should have thrown that cash box out of the window. Right into the shop.
I know. You did the only thing possible. Anyway, it's easy to think of these things afterwards.
One for a blessing at night.
It's full of it. Look at this. Post office holdup. Bandits injured too. Hey, come here. Oh yeah. 2 men showed the greatest heroism and devotion to duty, during which they suffered serious injury. Unfortunately, their efforts were in vain because of the questionable behavior of the 3rd employee. I bet that's Berger. Just what do you mean by that cuss? What I say? He's as soft as butter. Well, we'll just wait and see, shall we? No, just give me that.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Berger.
Open up, Niels.
Good morning, Mr. Berger. These are for you.
On the worst, Mr. Berger?
Oh, no, I'm all right. How about you?
I got them to discharge me from... I felt it was my duty to be here this morning.
Yes, right.
Well, it was a disagreeable experience. For all of us, I mean. Not just Mr. Kester and myself, but...
Kester. Yes, wasn't it?
Mr. Anderson, what happened last night? It's not true, is it, Mr. Berger?
What?
What papers say? I mean, it's not you, they mean, when they say that there was...
Some other work to do, isn't it? Time to get started, don't you think?
You dare not shoot, I said. One of them seemed about to do so. I leapt at him. And then the other one came at me from behind.
Well, where was Mr. Berger?
Why, I suppose he was in Mr. Baum's room.
Did he hear anything?
I expect so. But probably he was waiting the right moment I don't blame him. After all, it was a very nasty situation.
Surely.
My dear Carson, until you've faced a situation like this, you can't possibly realize how uninviting it can be. I think Mr. Bird justified.
Good morning. Oh, good morning, Mr. Anderson. I hardly expected to find you here this morning. Still, I'm very glad that you felt well enough to come. Carlson.
Yes, sir?
Tell Mr. Berger that I want to see him, please.
Yes, sir.
And you too, please, Mr. Anderson.
Excuse me. Mr. Brahms wants to see you.
Close the door. Find yourself a seat, Anderson. Now, Berger, suppose you explain yourself.
You mean, what happened?
Why these men were allowed to take the money?
Allowed? But they had guns.
There were 2 of them. There were 3 of you. At least you were just an observer, weren't you?
I wish to God Kester had been an observer, too.
Let us not be humorous at Mr. Kester's expense, please, Berger.
Not in the least humorous about him. She happens to be a friend of mine. At the moment, died.
Because he had a sense of duty, like Anderson. Couldn't you stop them?
No.
Or couldn't you have made a surprise attack?
It wouldn't have done any good, you see, because they'd been shot and they'd have got the money anyway.
Kester took that risk. So did Anderson. It's disgraceful you should attempt to excuse yourself like this.
Excuse myself? For what?
Tamely handing over the money.
You see, Mr. Brahms, I had time to think. If they'd had more time to think, then perhaps Kester would be sitting here now, and Anderson wouldn't be a national hero.
A national hero?
Now, I will not have Berger, it seems to me that you come out of this matter far less favorably than the others. They at least did their whole duty.
Duty? What is my duty, Mr. Brahms? What do I get paid for? To work for 16 years for the post office and then to get myself shot out of sheer stupidity?
The service pays for loyalty. What loyalty you choose to give in return is entirely a matter for the individual. Berger, I don't think any action will be taken against you, if that is what you're worrying about.
You know, I can't help feeling sorry for Mr. Berger.
Hello? Yes, speaking. I see. Just a moment, please, everybody. I've had some rather bad news. Mr. Kester has died.
Poor chap. Poor chap. What a price to pay for doing one's duty.
Mr. Engelhardt, have you read about this dreadful affair in the post office?
I'm just reading it.
But isn't it wonderful how dear Mr. Anderson behaved?
Well, I haven't got to that bit yet.
But that other man, what was his name? Berger. Yes, shameful, shameful. He deserves everything they write about. I don't feel in the least sorry for him. Don't you? No, handing over the money like that. Of course not.
I do. He has a little boy. I teach him, you know. One can feel sorry for him, surely.
Berger should have thought of that. I don't feel in the least sorry for him. Oh, bravo, Mr. Anderson, bravo, bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, congratulations, Anderson. I see you got yourself a nice press notice.
I assure you, You're joking, of course. But I assure you I gave no information to the press. Beyond a brief interview early this morning.
Come on, and sit by us, Miss Anderson. And tell us all about it. Now, what does it feel like to be a hero?
Oh, well, you really don't consider my...
How curious. Now,
Every Friday evening at a certain hour, there are only 3 men in the post office. The safe is unlocked. The maximum weekly amount of money is laid out for counting, right?
Yes.
This is a very attractive situation.
If anyone knew about it.
Ah, very shrewd, if anybody knew. Now, I would know.
I know. Miss Anderson and myself knew the exact time.
Someone else did, Mr.
Who?
The thief. Now, who could have... Not Kester because he died, not Anderson.
You're not suggesting that I...
Someone did.
I've worked at the post office all my life. Kester was my friend.
I expect you've quite a few friends.
No, I have no friends at all now. Now that Kester's dead.
I see. Acquaintances, then?
You charging me?
No, of course not. But we have to ask questions. You have to find an answer, and you seem to be on out in a way.
You still seem to think I should have let myself be shot.
Aren't you exaggerating a little? You've no real reason to think he would have shot you.
No real reason. Kester lying there, covered in blood. First you accused me of being a coward because I wouldn't let myself be shot for a few thousand kroner. And now you accuse me of being accomplice.
Thank you, Mr. Berger.
Is that all you want?
For the moment. Show Mr. Berger out.
now, what does it feel like to be a hero?
Why didn't he do as you did, Eric? It was nice of her to say that.
Say what?
About John, about wishing he'd done as you did.
Nice.
Well, wasn't it?
What did you mean this morning?
Morning.
About it being nice of Esther. I mean, why should it be nice to wish that John was alive and not dead?
I didn't mean that. I just meant it was nice of her to show that she didn't feel what you did was... No. But there are some people who seem to think you could have done something different.
You?
Of course not. I think you were lucky. I think I was lucky. But John and Esther weren't. I think that's what she was trying to say, and that she wasn't bitter with you because you were lucky.
Sorry. still a bit on edge.
Yes. Oh, things aren't as bad as... After all, you're going to be postmaster, aren't you? Well, who's going to take Brom's place at the end of the month? Instead of...
I never thought about it.
It'll be you, won't it?
I expect so.
That would make quite a difference.
Would, wouldn't it?
This concerns everybody. Thursday is a public holiday. Of course, you all know that. Good morning, Anderson.
Good morning, Mr.
It's
Ross.
also very near the end of my term of office as postmaster here. So in many ways, I do regret my retirement.
I'm sure we all do.
Very kind of you. I thought I would like to mark the occasion. I know it's very soon after poor Kester's death, but I don't think he'd mind. I thought I would give a party for the staff, their wives, children, and a few friends. You're all invited, the entire staff, including Mr. Berger.
Morning, Ross. Morning.
Morning. Morning, Berger. Well, till Thursday then.
Including Mr. Berger.
Carlton, I think you should try to control yourself. After all, it doesn't look very...
Rolf gone to bed.
Yes, he's very tired.
I was going to say good night to him.
I'd rather you didn't.
Why not?
Well, I told you he's rather tired. He had a bad day at school.
Bad? How do you mean?
Oh, lessons, that sort of thing. I'd rather you let him get to sleep.
Brom's invited us all to a party on Thursday. Families and friends to celebrate his retirement.
Well, we can't go.
Why not?
People staring, making remarks you're not supposed to hear.
Yeah. We'll go all the same. Won't we? They'll be expecting us not to, you know, because I didn't have the good taste to get myself shot like John or knocked to my head like Anderson.
Haven't you heard the news?
What news?
Anderson's been given a reward of 500 kroner
For what?
for trying to stop them.
But he didn't stop them.
Well, he didn't. It might have been better if you had thrown the cash box through the window.
Yeah. Got myself shocked for it.
Well, they mightn't have shot you. You said that yourself, thinking about it
And
afterwards.
you said I did the only thing I could. Maybe you've changed your mind.
No. It just might have made things easier.
Easier for who?
Ralph said...
What? What did Rolf say?
The boys won't talk to him at school.
Mommy, you promised, you promised.
Come here.
You promised.
I know she did, Rolf. She didn't mean it, Rolf.
You promised.
She didn't mean it. Mommy was very, very tired. It just slipped out. She didn't mean it.
I don't care if they don't talk to me at school. They're all wrong anyhow.
I know they are. Yes. Now, would you be a good boy and go back to bed, huh? Go to sleep. Mommy will put you to bed. Won't you, Mommy?
Come on, darling.
Good night, Rolf.
Get your supper in a minute.
bother about supper. I'm going out. It's time one of us went to see Esther. At least she knows what it's like.
Mademoiselle Larousse, Miss Lind, I'm sure you won't say no to a little, the captain, and Miss Larson, and my...
Alors, to our dear friend Miss Anderson, his courage and resource in...
excuse me, just one moment. I say, Mr. Rogers, we're having a little party. No, but really a celebration. You know, it's not every day that one gets 500 kroner.
Rogers has been presented with more than that, eh? I read about it in the paper this morning.
What?
That was a legacy from an uncle. But I didn't do anything heroic to earn it.
Alors, to our dear friend Anderson, to his courage and resource in the face of danger.
To his 500 kroner.
Good.
Dear friend...
You don't seem very excited.
Happy home.
By Anderson's reward?
Oh, I meant about your own legacy.
Thank you for...
Were you very fond of your uncle?
I hardly knew him. He died about a year ago. The money's been held up because of some argument about the will.
Still, a few thousand kroner.
Oh, yes, it would have been... certainly, it would be a nice thing to have.
Miss Larson, drink up. You don't look very happy.
Sorry, you're quite right. I'm not very gay. I'm glad about your award. I'm sure you deserve it, but I don't feel like celebrating. I think too many people have been hurt.
Hurt? Oh, yes, the poems to Kester.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of him. I was really thinking of the boys. Rolf Berger in particular. You know the other children at the school won't speak to him?
Well, it's all in the book, you know. Sins of the fathers.
What on earth do you mean?
I mean, Berger didn't come out of this too well, in a way. A little overcautious, and it was a very frightening situation. You know, I myself would...
Why must you be so damn pompous?
Pompous?
You might have lied and rid of that ridiculous bandage.
The hospital authorities thought in there.
I've just been to the hospital. My brother's a patient. I took the trouble to ask about you. Mild concussion, slight bruising, a minor laceration of the scalp. They painted it with some sort of an antiseptic, very colorful. So they put a bandage on to spare you embarrassment for a couple of days. And you've been wearing it like a halo for a fortnight. It's getting a little tarnished, Anderson. Why not hang it up?
Pay no attention to him, Mr. Anderson.
Anyway, the pension will be a help, won't it?
But not much. It's very small. Have to find a cheaper place.
I'm sorry. Wish there was something I could do to help.
No, it's my problem. We must all solve our own.
Yes, I know.
I expect you do. Helen should be grateful to you for that.
Helen?
Well, isn't she?
Well, it's much more difficult for her because of the gossip, ill feeling. It's easy enough for me. I was there. I know what happened. I don't know. Maybe I should have done something. Perhaps I was wrong.
But you weren't, Eric. Believe me, you weren't. I know.
Thank you. Thank you. That you'd understand.
I suppose John is what they call a hero. I suppose Peter will grow man, and he'll remember his father as a hero. The way men think, isn't it? But it won't be much fun for him. If this hadn't happened, he'd have had a better life. A better start, better opportunities. He won't know that, of course. He'll get used to things the way they're going to be. And then someday, he'll look at the dusty old cuttings from the newspapers. And he'll think, what a fine man John was. And he's right, of course. John was a fine man. But do you know what I think? I think I shall never be able to forgive him for not just being a coward, just letting them take the money. You understand what I feel, Eric? Do you understand?
Why not? That's what I did, wasn't it?
Eric.
I think I better be going now. I don't want to leave Helen alone for too long.
Excuse me, do you happen to have a light? Thank you. Thanks. It's all right. Have you any idea of the time?
It's just on 10 o'clock.
So late. Well, it's still a pleasant time for walking. Not too many people about. But I don't think I like people very much.
You live here?
Yes. But I'm from the north. In a way, I'm a very quiet person. I keep myself to myself. But thanks for the light and the time. And for a very pleasant meeting.
How was Esther?
All right. Pension may not be enough. She thinks they may have to move to a smaller place.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She sent you a letter.
You were quite right. Party. Of course we must go. I shouldn't have talked like that.
Neither should I.
Thanks for the light and the time. And for a very pleasant meeting.
This is a surprise. I never thought it... Ross, what a big boy you've become. I don't believe you remember me.
Yes, I do. You're the one Mummy says.
I do hope your husband is better, Mrs. Ron.
Better? Oh, yes. Yes, no. He really oughtn't to be here at all. But he's such an old friend of Mr. Brom's, and, I must run along. Later, dear. And you too, Eric, of course.
Go. Find a table.
You can rely on me, Mr. Bond. I don't know how to express it. How to thank you.
Not a word, not another word. Oh, Mr. Peterson.
All right, you're out.
But Daddy.
Oh, bad luck, Ross. Go and get yourself some lemonade and me some coffee. Can you do that by yourself?
Of course I can.
But, for the moment, not a word to anyone.
No, not a word. Not a word. Allah. I must tell you.
Niels,
take it. What do you think I've just heard?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Peterson. I'm so glad you and your dear wife could both come.
Well done, Mr. North.
Well, congratulations, Joe.
Poor old Burger. He's had it.
What do you mean?
It's going to be Mr. Anderson. I don't believe it. Anderson? Mr. Anderson, boy. I have a little respect for the new postmaster.
But it should have been Mr. Berger. Everybody knows that.
Well, let that be a lesson to you, my lad.
Why isn't Daddy going to be postmaster?
What did you say?
Why isn't Daddy going to be postmaster?
Because he is, darling. Rolf, why did you say that?
Well, he isn't, is he?
Rolf, did you do something today? Tell me. You must tell me. Tired?
No?
Rolf is? Oh, overtired, really.
Is he?
Practically asleep on his feet. Hardly knows what he's saying. He's talking complete nonsense.
What's that?
Oh, something about you're not going to be postmaster. I really didn't pay much attention. Is there anything interesting in the paper?
He was right. I'm not going to be postmaster.
Who is?
Anderson.
Anderson? But you always said he was stupid and incompetent.
Well, maybe he is. But he showed a great sense of devotion to duty. You said so yourself. He did something.
Why didn't you tell me?
I was going to tell you. I'm half gone to bed, but it appears that he,
When did you know?
Brahms told me. It's very nice about him.
Nice. What are you going to do?
What do you suggest?
Can't you appeal?
Yes. Get Mr. Brahms to put in a good word for me. Very good.
Oh, Eric, please stop reading. It must have been just like this that night. You must have just talked yourself into being careful, into doing nothing in case you got hurt. Do you think I want to be the wife of a post office clerk all my life? For years, we've just been able to make ends meet. But it was all right because one day you get this promotion. Do you think I've got no pride that I'm going to enjoy what that people say you're never going to get anywhere? That you just do nothing.
What would I have done? Got myself killed? Would that have been better?
I don't know.
Mind if I sit here? Thank you. You don't remember me. You gave me light for my night. Want one?
Oh, yes. Man who doesn't like people.
It's a simplification. I don't like crowds. I don't like many people much.
Yeah.
Thank you. May I have one too, please?
Well, I'm sorry, we're just closing. Oh, well, all right.
Don't worry. Huh? It might never happen.
I was just thinking about a friend of mine. He's been in rather a lot of trouble lately.
Yes?
He was one of the people involved in this post office robbery. Did you hear about him?
Yes.
Well, he was the one who didn't do anything. He just let them take the money.
Bergen. Wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. And now he can't make up his mind whether he was sensible or just a fool.
I'd have said he was the only sensible one. Huh? The other two didn't achieve anything. One's dead, and the other...
Anderson.
Anderson. Oh, yes. The local hero. Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, a man's memory of how he behaved in a moment of crisis is apt to be a little colored afterwards.
Do my friend good to hear you talk.
Pass it on to him. See what it does.
So, well.
As a matter of fact, I have a friend, too. Who's waiting every hour, every minute for a telephone call. His younger brother was mixed up in a road accident. It didn't look too bad at first, but now apparently it does. It might go any way, very quickly.
Not be very pleasant for the brother, I mean. The one who's waiting.
No. We'd better not keep the staff.
Oh, yeah.
They've had a hard enough day.
Oh, it's time I got home, too. Well, thanks. I'll pass that on. That's what you said.
Might help. Let me pay for your coffee.
Oh, no.
I owe you for the mats anyhow. Remember?
Another time, perhaps.
All right.
Good night.
Night.
What I have done? Got myself killed? Would that have been better?
I don't know.
Run along, Rolf. I'll catch you up in a minute. Maybe late tonight. Anderson's taking over. I have to stay behind. Can't afford that any longer, can we? Just a common clerk. No prospects.
There you are, Anderson. If you'll just sign the inventory, then that will make everything official.
I'm very obliged to you, Mr. Brahms. If it hadn't been for you, the opportunity...
Oh, think nothing of it. Oh, and my dear wife.
After all, Gregor is my senior by 3 years and 2 months.
Merit, my dear fellow. That is what counts. Merit and guts. No, say no more about it. Oh, thank you. I merely did my duty, as you did yours. Congratulations, Postmaster Anderson.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brahms.
So sorry. Forgot the most important thing, the keys.
Good luck.
Mr. Berger?
Berger, I hope you won't mind if I call you Berger.
Sure.
After all, colleagues for many years, and I see no reason why you shouldn't just call me Anderson.
No intention of calling you anything else.
No. Good. You don't have to be afraid of me. I mean, I've no intention of treating you unfairly merely because of popular opinion. After all, we're in it together, in a way. What are you laughing at? You might find it amusing, Berger. There's no reason to behave like an idiot.
Rolf's daddy is a coward. He's not! He's not! He is! He is! He isn't! He is! No, he's not! He's not! Children!
Leif? Come here.
Me?
Yes, Leif. You. You ought to be able to spell better than that. Rolf, how do you spell coward?
C-O-W-A-R-D.
That's better. Now, Leif, take the chalk and write 25 times, I must learn how to spell coward. Hello, darling.
Hello, Molly. I brought Miss Larson along with me.
I was passing this way, so I walked home with Dolph.
Oh, will you come in for a minute?
Thank you.
Oh, darling, pick up your bag and take it to your room, will you?
Yes.
And wash and tidy yourself up.
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, not at all. Please come in.
Look, Miss Larson.
Oh, yes.
You can show that to Miss Larson later, darling. Run in and shut your door, please. Will you sit down?
Thank you. That was an excuse, of course.
Yes. Has anything happened?
Not more than usual. Things happen every day. Children can be terribly cruel.
I know. So can adults.
A child may feel it more. And Rolf feels it more than most. He won't cry. He won't give in. If he did, the other children might soon get bored, but he's got a great deal of courage.
I don't know where he gets it from. I know I haven't the courage to go on much longer.
I'm sure you have.
If only they could catch these men, it might help.
Mrs. Berger, I was wondering... Oh, it's none of my business, of course, but I'm very fond of Rolf, and...
Yes?
Has it occurred to Mr. Berger to apply for to some town?
No. I didn't think so.
Why not? It might be worth talking to him.
If I say anything, he thinks I'm calling him a coward. When we're together, we can't even speak to each other. I don't know. I keep on saying all the wrong things. I just can't stop myself. It's destroying us. If only he'd have a little humility, admit he'd lost his nerve for a moment.
Well, perhaps he didn't.
I don't see that matters. It might make things easier for him, but he won't.
He's like Rolf, isn't he? Perhaps that's where Rolf gets his courage.
I could have believed that at first.
Not now?
I don't know. I've told you we don't seem able to talk to each other anymore.
I see your friend's got a new postmaster.
Yeah.
What does he like that?
Oh, very much.
Waitress.
Just a minute.
Coffee, please.
Coffee.
Should have been him. He's 3 years senior. Wouldn't have been any question of it if it hadn't been for this robbery.
I gather he's been unloading his troubles again.
Well, I seem to be the only one who's got any sympathy for him.
I don't know about that. I have. I expect plenty of others if he only knew.
My coffee. I'm still waiting.
Coming.
Thank you. No, this is mine. Full of two, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Fergus married, isn't he?
Yeah.
I thought wives are supposed to comfort their husbands in the hour of need. I wouldn't know. I'm not married.
I've been married for 10 years. Up to a few days ago, it was a good marriage.
And now?
Now they don't know each other any longer. Complete strangers. No contact at all. You'd have thought you'd have been pleased to have him alive at any price, wouldn't you?
Yes.
She was at first. But not any longer. She just keeps on at him. Why didn't he do something? Have a bit of courage like Anderson. How's your friend's brother?
He's still in danger. But he seems to be a little better, so I hear.
I never, how did it happen?
Cycling home. Well, cycling home from the country one night, he took a corner too fast and hit a tree. His face was pretty badly cut, but nothing more than that. So he was sitting by the side of the road while his brother tried to stop a passing car. I suppose the driver was startled. Anyhow, he swerved. That's when the damage was done.
That's where I live.
Well, I'll say good night then.
By the way, I haven't been able to talk like this for a long time.
Nor have I. Good night.
You're late.
Oh, this is a friend of mine, Mr.
Rogers.
How do you do?
If you'll excuse me, I must go.
Please don't go. Won't you come in and have a drink?
It's very kind of you, but I'm late for supper as it is. I must get home.
Well, we haven't eaten either. Won't you join us?
It's very kind of you, but
Please do.
coat.
I wonder why we haven't met before, Mr. Rogers. Have you known my husband long?
A few days.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
How did you meet?
I borrowed a match for a cigarette. Then we met again, by chance, a couple of times, in a cafe, and we talked.
What about?
Mostly about your husband's friend, the one who was mixed up in the post office raid.
Oh, Kester.
Berger.
Didn't he tell you that?
Oh, yes, he told me all about him.
I see.
He's had a rough time.
He could have avoided that.
I don't quite see how.
He could have done what the other two did.
Kester left a widow and an orphan. And Anderson... We don't quite know what Anderson did, do we?
Anderson's just become the new postmaster at Hangerson. Did you know that?
Yes. I wonder if he's happy about it.
Why shouldn't he be?
I doubt if a man can be entirely happy when he knows within himself that he doesn't quite deserve his success.
You're sorry for Berger.
Extremely.
And for his wife.
Not in the least. She's got a husband. She's got a home. She's got a child. She's got a future.
You're wrong. You're wrong about Berger's wife. She hasn't got a husband. She's got a man she's married to. She hasn't got a home. She's got a house to live in. And the future? It's the same as the past. Only there's no hope in it now. As for the child, you haven't said goodnight to Rolf yet.
Don't wake him.
He'd rather. Wake up.
I'm terribly sorry.
Just come with Mummy. Daddy's back, Rolf. Say goodnight to him.
Hello, Daddy.
Tell Dad if you had a nice day at school, Rolf. Oh, Erica, I forgot Miss Larson was here today. She's terribly worried. She thinks Rolf may not be very happy at school.
Don't listen, Daddy. Don't listen. It's not
keep
true.
writing things on the blackboard.
It's not true, Daddy.
She thinks it might be a good idea if we went away.
Don't listen, Daddy. Don't listen.
Good night, Mrs. Berger.
Mr. Rogers, if you could spare a moment or two,
I'm sorry, Anderson. I'm a bit tired.
I've been waiting up for you.
I can't think what. It's past midnight.
Mrs. Leonard was going to leave you a message in writing, but didn't seem right to me.
What are you talking about?
They've been trying to telephone you all evening.
The hospital.
Very good news. It's about your brother.
How bad is it?
I'm very sorry. Very indeed.
He's dead.
I'm afraid I've been clumsy. I'm not much good at this sort of thing.
You've been very kind, Anderson. I'm sorry for what I said about the bandage. Good night. I doubt if a man can be entirely when he knows within himself that he doesn't quite deserve his success.
The monthly returns are due. I'd like you to stay behind this evening.
Postmaster's job, isn't it?
Yes, but I seem to remember you did them for Mr. Brom's.
Once. When he was sick. Are you sick?
No. I'm fine, thank you.
Afraid I have an appointment this evening.
Glad you came.
My brother died last night. I have to go to his rooms now. I'd like you to come. It was my brother who killed Kester. For this.
You were the other. The one who held me up.
Yes.
But it was your brother that killed him.
It was both of us.
Oh, it was your brother that fired the shot.
I tell you, it was both of us. If he happened to pull the trigger, it could have been me. I was just as frightened as he was. We never meant anyone to get hurt. That's where it all went wrong. Kester threw the cash box. My brother lost his nerve and pulled the trigger. That's why they were both dead. My brother's face was injured, so we arranged a bicycle accident to explain it.
Would you have shot me? I mean, when you had me behind the desk. If I hadn't handed over the money, if I tried to throw it out of the window, would you have shot me then? You must have thought about it. Would you?
Yes, I would have shot you.
Why did you do it?
My brother had been speculating, but I didn't have enough money to help him out of his trouble. So I borrowed it from the bank where I work. But I misjudged things. An inspector was coming up with us in Stockholm, and I had to get it back quickly. My brother thought of the post office. It was a good idea.
Why?
I knew the best day, the best times to everything.
How?
Anderson.
Anderson?
We live in the same boarding house. And he talks too much.
Go on.
That's all. Except that the lawyers had been arguing about the legacy. They wrote to tell me it was mine. One day too late.
So it needn't have happened at all.
It needn't have happened at all.
Why did you have to tell me all this now?
My brother's dead. It can't hurt him.
Yes, I know that. But why tell me?
When I stopped you in the street for a light, I just wanted to find out if you'd recognize my voice. You didn't. All the same, I think we did recognize each other as two people who needed the same thing. Someone to talk to. Ironical that we needed the same reason. And last night, in your own home, I saw what I'd done to your family and you. I'm going to return the post office money out of the legacy. We always meant to, anyhow. Then I'm going to give myself up.
Who's that going to help?
Me.
Perhaps it won't bring back Kester, will it? Or your brother. And no matter what you say, I'll always be the little clerk who was a coward.
Everybody believes that. Even my wife.
That's what you think, too, isn't it? Well, isn't it? That's the whole trouble. You think your wife let herself be poisoned by the things people said. But the real poison is in you. Because you'd come to believe that you did behave like a coward.
I handed over the money, didn't I?
You had to.
Kester and Anderson didn't.
They didn't have time to think, like you. You did the only possible thing. You must believe that. I'd have shot you. You do understand. I would have shot you.
But you didn't shoot Anderson, did you? He dared you to. Even when he attacked you,
Attacked me? Dead? Shall I tell you what he really did? Anderson panicked. He came in from the safe, found Kester and my brother struggling, turned to run, saw me and screamed, "You daren't shoot! You daren't shoot!" Ran into a doorpost, knocked himself out. Our great hero screamed. Ran into a doorpost, knocked himself out.
Burger. Is that something you want?
I managed to get away from my appointment early. If you'd still like some help with those reports.
Oh. Thank you. That's very decent of you.
Thank you. I'm afraid I was a little rude today.
I hardly noticed it. As a matter of fact, strictly speaking, the returns are the postmaster's job. It was only, as I said, that you'd done them for Mr. Brom's before that and very well too, if I may say so, that the blind. One can't be too careful. You want to risk one's life too often. I mean, one incident like that was enough for me.
And for me.
Yes, and for you. By the way, Burger, there's some coffee there.
Oh, no, thanks. Later, perhaps.
Thirsty work, this, you know.
Yes. You know, it's strange, isn't it, how differently it's affected us.
What did?
The incident.
Oh, yes, of course. But what's done is, I hope you get the same total as I did.
You know, I've often thought about it. I mean, after all, you know, it's not the sort of thing that one can easily forget.
Why not? My dear Burger, believe me, I don't hold it against you. Not in the least. As far as I'm concerned, nothing's changed.
You've become postmaster, Mr. Anderson.
Yes, I understand your feelings, but one mustn't question the decisions of one's superiors, must one? I mean, it's hardly the time or the place.
Huh? Oh, I should have thought it was exactly the place. Almost exactly the time.
How do you mean?
I mean that there, in that chair, on the night, about this time,
Yes,
and you and Kester were through the door there in the other office. I've often seen it in my imagination. Kester, suddenly faced by two men with guns, yet still having the presence of mind to throw the cash box at them. That was how it happened, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And then you coming in, and the other one pointing a gun at you, defying him. You daren't shoot, you said. You daren't shoot. I can just hear the way you said it. And then
then leaping at him, in spite of the gun. That was brave. That was very brave. Could have been shot.
I had to take a chance, hadn't I? I say, Berger, let's get back to the job, shall we?
Yes, of course. There's just one other thing I'd like to know. If you'd had more time, would you have done exactly the same thing?
Well, I'd have had to. It would have been my duty.
Would you? Would you really? I mean, if, for instance, I was to take out a gun now and point it at you, I'd give you, say, 30 seconds to get the money out of the safe in there and give it to me. Would you do exactly the same thing?
Oh, don't be idiotic, Berger. Put that silly thing away.
Ah, yes, you see. But I want to know. That's why I'm giving you 30 seconds. That's just about what I got.
You're joking.
There's 20,000 krona in that safe in there, and I want it. You come man. Don't open the safe in 30 seconds. I'm going to shoot you.
You can't. Why not? Be colleagues for you.
Colleagues! Oh, yes. Yes, you could have helped me, couldn't you? But you didn't. You just sat back and took all the glory, wearing your bandage like a halo. It was the only way you could think of me, wasn't it?
It had nothing to do with me. It was head office. Look, Berger, this joke's gone. Joke now.
Joke? With no friends, no future, no home. Oh, no. I'm going to go away from here. I'm going to start somewhere else, but with 20,000 krona. And you're going to give it to me. Now, you've had your 30 seconds. But I'm going to give you another, just so you know what it's like to be Eric Berger.
But you can't. You cold-blooded. Look, Berger, please, I'll make it up to you. I'll use my influence. Berger, I'll... Berger. Berger.
Cloud. Shut the door. Hurry up. Now this way. Pick it up. Pick it up! All of it. Now. Give it.
Don't you want it? And why did you?
Because I wanted to prove something. But it doesn't matter anymore. Hello. Something of yours. No, you didn't use it. Oh, yes, I did. On Anderson. Not a bad chap. No, he isn't, really. Is he? Where are you off to, huh?